The San Antonio Spurs made one late adjustment in Game 2 that no one noticed. For most of the first two games of the NBA Finals, San Antonio had Wemby spending a lot of time attached to Karl-Anthony Towns out on the perimeter. That gave the Spurs a problem in both directions. Towns was hurting Wemby with quick decisions, shooting, passing, and enough quickness off the dribble to overwhelm the Defensive Player of the Year. And the Knicks also got an even bigger benefit. Every possession that pulled Wemby away from the rim took away the very best part of the Spurs' defense, Wemby's roaming rim protection. Late in Game 2, with the Knicks threatening to turn it into a blowout and the series starting to get away from San Antonio, Mitch Johnson finally changed the deployment. He had Wemby start possessions on whichever Knicks player was in a particular corner. And this is different than the typical ghost coverage that we see in the NBA. Standard ghost coverage is when the defender matches up with a poor or reluctant shooter and then roams away from him to provide help around the rim or in the paint. The whole bet with ghost coverage is that the open shot that the defense allows is worth the extra rim protection that they're able to get. The Spurs simply had not been willing to make that trade-off for most of the series. They clearly didn't want to give any Knick a steady diet of open threes, including Josh Hart, who is shooting 29% from three in these playoffs and 24% on wide open threes. But Wemby on Towns was truly becoming untenable, so Mitch Johnson went to something different, basically a hybrid version of the strategy. We'll call it inverted ghost coverage. So watch where Wemby starts on these possessions. Almost every possession, he's matched up with a Knick standing in the corner. If that player moves, Wemby doesn't chase him around the floor. Instead, he passes him off and he takes the next Knick who fills that corner. But the key is Wemby's starting point. He begins at the three-point line, so the Spurs are not gifting New York an open corner three from the beginning of the possession. Then once a Knicks ball handler commits to a drive, Wemby crashes down from the corner into the paint. That gives San Antonio an approximation of the version of Wemby that they've been looking for all series. He can stay close enough to shooters to prevent easy threes, but still get back to the rim and provide chaos as a help defender. And late in Game 2, it worked. Before the fourth quarter of Game 2, the Knicks were 31 of 46 at the rim in the series, which is 67%. In the fourth quarter, they went 2 of 8, or 25%. Some of that is normal late game variance, and some of it is the Spurs finally giving the Knicks a look they haven't seen a steady diet of. The question now is whether San Antonio starts Game 3 this way, or treats it as a late game emergency option, because there are ways for the Knicks to attack it. They can post Towns on the opposite side before Wemby has time to load up as the helper, or they can clear out the corner that Wemby is guarding and drag him into the pick and roll. But that's the game within the game now. The Knicks are up 2-0 in the NBA Finals after winning both games in San Antonio, and the Spurs are going to be walking into what will be one of the most electric crowds in the history of American team sports at Madison Square Garden in Game 3. Their best chance to get back into the series may depend on whether Wemby can protect the rim without giving the Knicks an avalanche of clean perimeter looks, especially when the Knicks go to their 5-shooter lineup with Landry Shamet. Game 3 should tell us whether inverted ghost coverage was just a brief adjustment or a real counterpunch from San Antonio that will help turn this series around.